We have a wonderful talk waiting for you to watch and learn something new today. We have got Guruji Vishwanath from Bangalore. He's a spiritual healer and he has been working with us for quite some time, almost like 7-8 years right now. And there are a lot of spiritual solutions that come from their team all over the world. They right now in the post-COVID-19 or COVID-19 pandemic time, how important it is for distance healing and psychological therapy or mind-body connection. We'll explore those. So welcome back, sir. How are you?
Namaste, Manojji.
Thank you very much.
Happy to see you once again.
Yes. And last time we had this International Yoga Day, you had a beautiful speech for us, and then it was really good, and a lot of you liked it about the power of mind, and especially the subconscious mind. And you have been working very seriously on those areas and helping thousands of people. So let us know about little experience, like how you got into it. And then I know you're a software engineer and you were a scientist. You are very curious about things, how mind works, how intelligence works, and a lot of curiosity in your childhood time. And then so how it evolved the way that you have been doing right now so far. Please tell us something about that.
Yeah, sure. So as everybody starts their life with the questions, even my life started with questions. I used to ask many questions with my parents. For every small ritual, every small practice, I used to ask them what exactly it is, how it works, and why we have to do all these things. As we all know, as an Indian, there are many rituals, many Bharatiya Samskriti, so we follow. So Indian tradition. There are many things to follow here, and sometimes we have a lot of question about it. So my journey started there actually. My parents helped me to go to Veda Pathshala, so in the early age. So that was one more added wisdom for me. So that time I was not serious actually. Parents pushed me for it and I went. Definitely. So later years it really helped me. So then on I went through my formal education. It was fantastic. So I connected to computer industry that time. 1993 I finished a diploma in computer science. Then onwards I finished my BCA, MCA. So all these things step by step I was able to complete it. Of course the IT industry was fascinating. It really thrilled me because lot to learn, lot to understand, lot to work, many challenges. It really gave me a wonderful platform to understand how exactly we can relate ourselves with the system or ourselves with the computer. So later years, as everyone experiences some issues like psychosomatic problems or anything like that. So even I was in search of some answers, some information where I can relax myself, calm myself, help myself. Of course, in the professional end, everything was going fine. But at the same time, I was not able to manage my family life, personal life, and social life. I was not able to balance it. So that time I got introduced with mind power. So my Guruji, Dr. Sri Ramchandra Guruji, so I met him in 2005. It was a great information which I received at the beginning. Then onwards, I took little time because it was new to me, mind power and all the practicals which we experienced, everything was new to me. And I used to think, okay, will it work? Because my analytical mind, it was really questioning all those things, how it works and how mind body connects and how it interacts. All those questions was there, and there were some deep spiritual aspects also, which I was able to connect with him. And all those things was again a query, a quest started in my life. So then in 2006 onwards, the situation came where I have to connect to this energy. So my personal life and the professional life was a bit shaky that time. It was little disturbed. Then I really worked myself with mind power. power of subconscious mind, creative visualization, spiritual healing. At the same time, I also work with uplifting my energy level. So many aspects when I implemented on myself, I really transformed. That transformation was ultimate. It really helped me. Then onwards, I thought, how come this change is happening within few months? Because the situation what I was experiencing was really bad that time. When I started using that mind power, relaxing all the issues, relaxing my stress, relaxing that anxiety, overcoming all the fears, and putting that confidence back into state. Everything happened within few months. And Manojji, I worked almost 16 hours a day to bring back that glory in my life, because that situation I was facing. And
Wow.
really it helped me a lot. I invented that time only. I went through that experiences. Along with that, many techniques came out from that time.
Right.
Many techniques it came to me, which was really thrilling. And also I started giving these tips and ideas to my friends. Then my journey moved on. In 2009, I completely got into the spiritual journey, and from then onwards, it became my passion, my profession. I'm totally involved in this now.
I
I
think
went
you're
through.
right. Like, when I met Dr. Sri Ramchandra Guruji in 2007, you met in
Yes.
2005. I think he was here, and we had a friend Prakash, and we created just a small company called Yoga Sophie. So I remember
Yes.
we went to the New Park Mall and then took some pictures together. So
I still have the picture.
right. So, it was such a great opportunity. I remember a couple of sessions like with him. We took him to UC Berkeley, and then he was giving demonstration on the power of subconscious mind and hypnotism. So it was so great. Like, we had a lot of workshops with him. I remember one particular incident, like, when I just about to have some cold, like during that time, it's a lot of irritation happens, right? You get very different kind of experience, and after that, it continues actually. So during that time, in my yoga studio in Union City, we were having a workshop with him. I remember he just all like 30, 40 people were there, and then he just laid us down on the ground, and he was doing this 108 spiritual breath. And to my surprise, after that breath was done, like just for 10-15 minutes, my cold was totally gone. Like, it never came back again. So like that, I have seen the power of his guidance, spiritual guidance for past life regression therapy and all, with a couple of my clients. I think there is a lot to explore about the power of mind. So tell us something about, like, how we can really take advantage of this power of mind, subconscious mind, particularly to deal with stress. My particular interest is to make the Silicon Valley in Bay Area, not only just technologically advanced, it's already there, but how it can be more happier and more healthier community in the world, to be an example.
Definitely. So we'll discuss now.
Right.
And uh, the organization name, Wellness by All Means, it really gives a holistic approach. I was just going through all your videos. It is so soothing, so informative. And your thought, what you just expressed, it is really needed for this current moment. It's a need of an hour, and people need it, because we are running through a different, unusual experiential moment now. It's totally different from the regular experience. Especially in India, I've seen a drastic change in many areas. Even understanding, dimensional thinking, everything is changed. So all these things happen because of there is some force which really made us to do it. Okay, it can be anything, it can be COVID or anything, but the situation what a person goes through, it really changes him. So that is what the power of mind. And all of a sudden, there are so many training happen to our mind about many aspects, health aspects, right? So basically, we keep training our mind. Our training started from the womb, actually. Okay, so from the womb, where we in that mother's womb, that garbha,
Right.
it's a great place. Everybody knows that it's a place where we learned our first lessons. From there, my mother started teaching me. Because when we do Garbha Samskara, when we do womb education, lot of fascinating information we received. And we, as you know, you were talking about past life regression. In that there is one concept is womb regression, as you know. When you go to womb regression, when we experience that, or when the person is experiencing it, he will definitely understand what are the things he learned. Basically, emotional informations will be gathered there. How mother expresses everything that is stored in the child, or in that womb experience. Okay, so from there actually our journey starts. We start learning from there, and there are so many things which we learn there. It will help as well as affect our life in the teenage or in the old age, in the later stage. It affects because sometimes if mother is experiencing the fearful situation, the same thing is imbibed into that child, that fetus. So we cannot say that, but it is the mind actually, basically. The subconscious mind is receiving it. Subconscious mind will store all those things. Even when he takes birth, when he start growing, sometimes if he come across the same situation, again the same information will trigger from inside. This is what we experienced, and this is what we saw in our therapies. So here, mind power will help us to retrain our mind, because there is one program which is already fed into our system. The program which talks about our behavior, our attitude, our expression, our actions and reactions, all these things is already there. We have learned it. Mm-hmm. If at all we want to change it, we need to retrain our mind. We have to. Shall we do one small exercise?
Yeah, let's do
If everybody is there, it's a simple exercise where everyone can experience it. Okay, let's do like this. Let us clasp our hand like this. Just with a small experiment. So we are clasped our hand. Okay, now observe and identify which thumb is on top, left or right. It's a simple experiential practice. So for some, the right thumb is on top. For others, left thumb is on top. For me, left thumb is on top.
Okay. For me, right.
Yeah, that's what actually. If 20-25 people are there, in that almost 30-40% difference will be there. Okay. So when I hold like this, you feel that comfortability. You are happy with this position or a posture, what you hold, right? So you just leave it again, come back. When you come back to this clasp again, this position, you feel very comfortable. It's as if, you are happy with yourself, you are connected yourself. That's what the feeling happens. Now we'll do one small experiment. Let us slowly interchange or swap our fingers. So before, Manojji's right thumb was on top. Now we'll make a left thumb on top by interchanging all the fingers.
Right.
You got my point?
Different. First of all, it's getting awkward to get in there also.
Exactly. This position is, don't you think it's a discomfort?
Yeah, totally. No,
it's discomfort. Again, come back to the original. It's comfortable.
Right.
And this is discomfort, this is comfort.
Right.
Okay. Now, we have to ask ourselves, how this learning happened? Who taught us? Who gave this idea? SRS. Really. Say one more practice we'll do. Just will
like this also, yeah.
Hold our hands.
Right.
See, this is the comfortable position. If I interchange it, I'm not comfortable.
Right.
So like this, the way we wear our shirt, t-shirt, which hand goes first? That is a comfortable position. That is how I do it, right? Like this, thousands of things, even from tying a shoelace till putting shirt button, everything is somewhere we have learned unknowingly, and we call it as auto learning. It has come to us as it is. Okay.
Right.
Even if you cross your legs, it has come automatically. Okay.
Right.
Now, this is a discomfort if you go against your regular position, a regular practice. Correct?
Right.
So now, if at all we are using a self-learning, self-training. So that's what I told actually. Already we have trained our behaviors, attitude, many things like that. Okay, even body language. If at all we want to change, how to change it? That is through self-learning. It's a retraining. So this is where the mind power comes into picture. All these learnings are there in our mind, is there in our database. This is how, when I hold like this is comfortable. This is comfortable. It says, from where that information coming? It is coming from the mind. It is coming from my old database. It says this is only the comfortable position. I like it. Great.
Right.
Now if I interchange, no, I don't like it. That's what the message comes from the mind. Now I want to retrain it. Shall we retrain it now? Okay. So come to the discomfort position, which you did it. So comfortable was this, and this is a discomfortable position. So what we'll do? We'll do a simple communication with our mind. What is it? Simple communication, because whenever we are training, we have to communicate. Otherwise, it will not work.
Right.
We have to communicate. If at all I want to learn anything, even alphabet, my mom or teacher, they were continuously teaching me, communicating with me, communicating with my mind. That's how I learned ABCD, all the alphabets and other things also. Here also we need to communicate. Let's come back to that discomfort and keep it like this and say the first word, I am comfortable.
I am comfortable.
I am comfortable.
I am comfortable.
This position is very comfortable.
This position is very comfortable.
I'm very comfortable.
I am very comfortable.
I am totally comfortable.
I'm totally comfortable.
My hands are comfortable.
My hands are comfortable.
The moment you say that, you can feel some kind of energy flow in your hands. Sometimes you might feel that pulse beating. That's what happens. Again, continue. I feel very comfortable.
I feel very comfortable.
Totally comfortable. Now, when you are holding your hand, when you're clasping, have that relaxed feeling. Even in your hand, have that relaxed feeling and say, I'm totally comfortable. I'm very happy with this position. Yes, I'm comfortable, completely comfortable. My hands are comfortable. I'm so happy. Yes, it is comfortable. I'm relaxed in this position. I'm relaxed. My hand position is very relaxed, very relaxed, very relaxed. Yes. Just close your eyes and feel it for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Relax your hands. Come to the original position. This is your original position. Change to that other alternative position. Your comfort level is increased maybe by 20% or 30% or 50% if you look at it.
That's right.
Yes or yes?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
If you change it, you are not feeling that change at all.
Yeah.
It's almost same. That means we took 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 2 minutes to talk to our mind and tell it you are happy, you are relaxed, you are comfortable. Don't you think it is working? Yes, it works. If you do it for at least 3-4 days or a week continuously like this, any position you take, it feels comfortable. So with this, what is the idea we are getting? If at all we are stressed, just repeat the word relax. If at all we are very fearful, just tell yourself, communicate with your mind by saying, I'm confident. That is how it works.
Right.
Yes,
so
Manoj.
how did we apply it? Like, say, for example, like many cases, particularly in the Silicon Valley, like there are a lot of politics happens and people really don't get along with others in the team members. Like there are a lot of interpersonal issues that come up on the way that curtails the team productivity. So is it possible for someone to influence someone else's mind using these techniques so that there will be more friendship with others and the more kind of work and environment can be better for a good cause? Not to influence in a bad way, but in a positive way with a good intention. Is it possible to influence somebody's mind?
Yes, definitely. See, more than influencing, it is like I'm releasing all the negativity towards that person. See, if a person is hating somebody, that means he has some, maybe it is right or maybe it is wrong, he has some bad opinion about that guy or that person. Right. So how he has to face it? See, here what happens is the ego comes into picture, jealousy comes into picture. There are many negative aspects will be popped up. It will be expressed, right? So in order to correct it, if at all a person wants to re-establish that happy harmony, then he has to work with himself first. He has to relax and he has to change all the perception what he has towards that person, the other person. So as a manager or as a team lead, as a colleague, we face a lot of challenges. As you said, one word, politics. It is there everywhere.
Right.
But when that expression comes from the individual, when he is expressing that, it affects the entire team. It affects the organizational growth. Somewhere they will not be able to perform as individual, as a team also. So then somebody has to identify and immediately they have to work on themselves. Something is going wrong. You work on a lot of energy healing,
right?
Forgiveness therapy, gratitude therapy.
Right.
All these things we have to use it systematically. Everything what we are using is working on the mind. Joshi ji, anything we are doing, don't you think it is from the mind only?
Sure.
Because of our thought, because of our emotion.
Right.
Otherwise life is not running at all. It is standstill.
Right.
That means, just imagine in a day how many thoughts we are getting. More than 50 to 70,000 thoughts. That's what the psychiatry says. Maybe 60,000 thoughts. Just imagine 60,000 thoughts is nothing but 60,000 opportunities. Yes or yes?
Right. To influence the mind, to train the mind.
Exactly. So these thoughts having a sub thoughts. Say for example, I think about that person. The moment I think about that person, I'll get at least 10-15 negative thoughts, sub thoughts. So this is where I have to change. The moment I see that person, I think of that person, I should have what is the best quality in him. Tell it, it's very easy. But if you practice it, miracle will happen. Because I'm working with the IT guys here, MNC guys here, MNC people. They also face the same thing. They are not different from anybody. I've seen, the teams are doing very well now.
I was attracted to this one because in my school days, I think somebody gave me a book. It's called Yoga for Mental Power. I think there was a yogi, Dr. Kulgena Sinha. It was the first line I remember. It says that human beings suffer not because they desire, they suffer because they don't know how to fulfill their desires. And after that it gave a lot of examples of how your brain works like a radio transmitter and how you can send your thought in a particular frequency that will attract someone else who has the capacity to fulfill your goal. Like suppose you want a car, maybe your uncle may listen to that thought and then sometime, maybe he can give you a gift or something will happen, or maybe he'll sell a car to you in a cheap price. Somehow it will happen. Sure. The human brain is the most, mysterious thing in our life. We have not explored a lot of different ways, like how the mind works. And in fact, all these Upanishads, Vedantas, everything that we talk about, yogic scriptures, all talk about mind management. All the Upanishads are all about mind management. If you look at Bhagavad Gita, everything is all about mind management. Everything about emotional management, everything about intelligence management. So from that point of view, I think applied yoga and mindfulness and all the different techniques that we provide with different ailments or different diseases of the mind, psychosomatic or somatopsychic. So I think there are a lot of proven techniques right now which can be used by our community, by the people to become healthier, right? So I think you are seeing it in many cases, everyday cases when we are healing people. with these techniques, and we are seeing the result right away. So there is nothing to be skeptic about it, because mind is controlling everything. It's all about thought management, and yoga is all about yoga chitta vritti nirodha, controlling of the thought, restraining of our mind. That is the primary thing that we should achieve.
Very true.
So that's great. So I think we are trying to establish a protocol where people from here can be directly benefited from your work in Bangalore and vice versa. So what are the kind of thoughts that you can think about, like what can be done, like distant healing, say, for example? How does it work, and what will be a practical way to make this global platform right now helpful to everyone?
Sure. Yeah, so continuation to that, you spoke about that book and how mind works.
Right.
The mind can reach anywhere on this earth, anywhere in this universe. The moment I think of something, it is already radiated to the entire universe. That's what we learned from Veda also, Upanishad also. At the same time, even quantum physics talks about the same thing.
Right.
The moment you think, it radiates. See, in our tradition or the science which we are studying and doing research, there is one topic called telepathy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The same way, using telepathy is nothing but the moment I think of you, okay, the same thought will rise in you. It's like, network address. It broadcasts actually. Whatever I think, it broadcasts, it goes everywhere and reaches to the address which that person supposed to receive. That's what the beauty of this universe. So actually, if at all we are thinking about how to reach a people, think in terms of energy and frequency. As you said, radio frequency is the same. So what we are, this healing modality is what we are following. It's all based on this only. Energy, energy and energy. Everything is energy. The moment I feel the energy in my hand, so we can call it as a bioenergy or electromagnetic energy, which really radiates from our hand. We can definitely feel it. There are many people who's practicing different healing aspects like Reiki or pranic healing, spiritual healing.
Right.
So we kind of healing, we do that. Touch healing, right?
Right.
The moment we energize our hand, we can definitely feel the aura is changed, the energy level is changed, everything will change automatically. And with the good intention, with the good thought, if at all we are diverting that energy to that person aura as well as the Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, will slowly get this energy and it will start changing it. And this is what happens when we are doing physical. How about doing distance? See, if I think of you, as we discussed, that thought will reach you and you will feel somewhere, okay, Vishwanathji is remembering me. In Indian tradition, we follow this. If somebody is thinking of it, sometimes we'll get yawning.
Yeah.
We feel, okay, he's recalling me. Okay, or somebody is thinking of me like that.
Right.
Same thing here also. The moment we create that energy with that complete intention, we can reach to any people, any person on this earth. We do distance healing. Already we are doing, as you know, last time when we came to your place, we did a healing there, with that physical appearance.
Okay.
And also after coming here, we started sending them to distance healing, and you have seen there's a tremendous change in it.
Right.
This is what happens. See, here also, after taking a therapy, once we ask them to practice, along with that, we send them a healing every day. That is how it works. So you asked me how we can help the Silicon Valley people.
Right.
If anybody is experiencing such type of stressful, depression, or any kind of fear, definitely we can address online with their requirements, and we'll start understanding their state of mind as well as emotional experiences. And after that, we can definitely come out with some solution for them. As you know, spiritual solutions and also wellness by all means.
Right.
Together, we can definitely make a difference.
So
Okay.
basically, yoga believes that there are three different forms that exist. Like for anything, like even if a phone, there could be a physical form, there could be an astral body, and there could be a causal body. Like the physical
Yeah.
phone that I can hold, but the astral body could be like something that I dream of a phone. Like in my dream state of mind, dream state of consciousness, whatever the image that I get is an astral body, or just an image of this one, just an electronic image also is an astral body of itself. But the very idea of this phone itself is a causal body. So likewise, we also exist in these three forms. So most of the healing in the spiritual world, I think that happens in the causal body also. Just an idea about a person, I'm not getting along with it. Once we describe that person, and through this person that we know, we can have a connection, because the consciousness is all one that we all share, just like the same air that we all share. I always talk in my class. So there is something, that light, same light that we share, same mind with it. Our mind, there is a individual mind, there is a global mind, there is a consciousness,
Exactly.
super consciousness. Once we learn how the mind works, what the yogis really found many years ago, thousands of years ago. So you have to rediscover those techniques, yogic techniques, mystical techniques, and tune the mind, develop that skill, so that we can send those thoughts just like a computer would send a thought. Like if I'm searching something in Google, maybe some servers in India or Africa, somewhere there is information, and I can get immediately an access to that through the
Exactly.
you follow. Similarly, if somebody is in a position to help me out at that particular time, and then if I send it to my higher self or to the universe, what you talk about cosmic ball, the technique that we project our thoughts into the universe and then try to energize that with our meditation. So those thoughts will be acting like a satellite, and then somewhere or other it will connect the right connection. I think these are all things happening on the hindsight without a practical knowledge. It's happening so transparently. The universe is becoming so conscious and then making us work. Like for example, like now we think about like the earth is moving around the sun 70,000 miles per hour. So for billions of years it is happening so precisely. So what is
Exactly.
the divine intelligence that is governing this? How a small seed that you plant and becomes a huge tree, and the millions of seeds come out in this lifetime. How a small sperm and ovum creates a human structure like that. How in every tiny cell the whole genetic structure is concealed. Like these are all energetics behind the information behind it. So it's nothing to deny that there is a higher power, there is a higher intelligence that is governing the whole life. Look at a virus, not even a living body, a half living body or a dead particle of protein could devastate the whole world, and then all of us in a lockdown for 6 months. Such is the power of a small virus. So, when we think about the brain, billions of neurons, and then all this conscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind, I think this is where my passion comes, like how we can really integrate the technology and spirituality together. I think this is the right time right now when the merger
Exactly.
is happening, transformation is happening. And as we were talking the other day, even this COVID-19 pandemic is by design, I believe, by the universe to teach us something, to give us a opportunity to heal the mother nature, and to maybe, as you said rightly, there are many masters who may be working to heal or to take us to a new platform, to a new dimension altogether. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the current pandemic and how the world is changing the way that we do things, and what is the future for the human race?
Yeah. So there are many transformation is happening in the energy level in a different dimensions. So basically, right now, we are, as we all know, we started exploring ourselves in the spiritual science from 2005, 2006 onwards. That intention and intensity started becoming more. And now in 2020, what I'm seeing is everywhere on every platform, I'm seeing the spiritual science is reaching everyone. Here or there, even if they are seeing social media or anything, they are connected with this transformative energy. So this transformative energy is going to bring us a lot of ideas how to keep ourselves in that peace, joy, happiness. Because when we are addressing many corporates, they are literally, they want some change in them. They keep asking, how to relax my mind? I'm I'm feeling insecurity now. I'm not feeling comfortable with my job. Somewhere I'm feeling some kind of disturbance. So all these things, it is really bringing a change in every aspect. The moment he learns it, he will not keep it for himself. He will spread it over. So like this, everywhere the spiritual science will be dominating. So I should not use the word dominating. It will be spread, and
Right.
everywhere the peace, joy will be connected. At the same time, a lot of challenges we are going to face in 2021 also. See, when you look at the financial aspects or the global financial aspects, there are so many changes we saw in just 6 months.
Right.
Of course, what is happening is, it is not that we cannot come back. We can come back. So we will come back. It's all temporary. As we all know, in another 3 months, 2020 will be over.
Right.
After that, we are entering into 2021. So fast the days are running. The same way, even this temporary problem will be solved, released, and we'll be getting into the new era. Definitely, it's a new era filled with a lot of joy, happiness, love, compassion, forgiveness, acceptance. That's what I believe.
All those words that you spoke about just now, a second ago, that is what spirituality is. Because in 2007, when I met Guruji, and I asked this question, what is the simple definition of spirituality? And I still remember that. He said, like, spirituality means having the spirit of love, having the spirit of joy, having the spirit of kindness, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude. That spirit is what is spirituality. And that is the excellent quality of human mind. So whenever you explain about the spirituality, it's not something that God is millions of miles away from us, but it's about that godly spirit that is present in every cell of our being. It's closest thing, even more than our mind, more than our ego. I think that's the most closest thing is that spirituality, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So that transformational thought itself could lead us to a more peaceful time. But people have to really believe in that. People have really practice that. People have to create that aha moment. Yeah, it makes sense. Then only it can be an experienced and then expressed through their words, thoughts, and action. Right? So this spirituality is really powerful. Yeah, please speak something.
Yeah, as you said, people has to wake up. They have to understand now. I think a lot of people are connecting to this. All walks of life. I've seen everyone, majority, whoever connects to us, I'm seeing they're from different walks of life. They're happily accepting it. That's the change I saw.
We're working on something called 5 quotients. Like, not only we need intellectual quotient to be successful in life, like we need intellectual quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, moral quotient, and spiritual quotient. In fact, there are 8 quotients that we have a small project that we're working on. So talking about spiritual quotient, if we don't have a spiritual quotient, I think we will not be truly happy. That true happiness, unconditional happiness, will not happen without a good balance of spiritual quotient in an individual life. Similarly, in a collective life also, like if the world doesn't have a good spiritual quotient, definitely, we can't stop the wars. The conflict management will still continue. We'll continue to spend trillions of dollars every day to do the conflict management and prepare ourselves. Self-defense will be there. The human trust, the loyalty, the friendship, the love, compassion will not come in a natural way. So I think collectively we have to raise the spiritual quotient to a higher level so that we can enjoy life without being afraid about, without being fearful about. So by overcoming the negative emotions of our collective consciousness, how we can really give rise to trust, love, compassion, kindness, friendship, then only we can really be truly happy. And I think that's the biggest challenge for all of us in the Silicon Valley or anywhere else in the world. How do we really raise our spiritual quotient? And I believe from that point of view, my personal intake is like this COVID-19 pandemic definitely is giving us an opportunity to raise our spiritual quotient. Because if you can go outside, go inside and then try to raise your spiritual level so that the whole world will be seeing in a different way. And then we can be ready for the next journey, next dimension. Because right now we are in the 3 dimension, and a lot of theorists and physicists, they're also talking about there could be 11 dimensions, there could be infinite dimensions. So we have not explored it yet. Like the space is so big, so humongous. And then out of all the different possibilities, the planet Earth is only one, but there could be 80 billion of planet like Earth could be possible in the space right now.
Yes.
I think only with the spiritual dimension, we can go in and explore those areas.
Exactly, very well said. Ananta it is.
Ananta.
It's limitless.
So
We
that's
cannot
really,
understand
yeah.
this easily. We cannot understand with this limited mind.
Right.
It's a vast experience only when we start implementing it. So I believe in this actually. We all got a lot of information now.
Right.
Everywhere the information is pouring and coming to us from all the sides. Now the time to implement it. Once we start transforming from information to implementation, then we'll start experiencing it. So experiencing really, really helps us to gain wisdom. This is what has to happen. So my request to you, Manoj Joshi, what we can do is we'll start implementing certain techniques or practices where they will get a significant changes.
Right.
So everyone has this information now. Meditation heals, meditation transforms, meditation gives peace. And there's a, we can write for 200 pages. Meditation is this, that.
Right.
But the time to sit in meditation,
right.
Connect to that meditative state, experiencing that state.
Yeah, that's what we created something like last year, like you remember, like in the International Yoga Day, we released one product called Global Meditation Marathon. So visualize that thousands of people, millions of people are practicing meditation at the same time, similar concept, similar chain of thoughts that they're having. And we created this Mother's Network, the Golden Network, light, and putting it in her heart, connecting to all the hearts of the mothers, and instilling the values of yogic principles like yama, niyama, all these different asanas and different satya, himsa, asteya. So I believe like if we practice more on a common thread of line, what basically gives the human values more stronger, more strength to our values, our culture, our heritage, our concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, like the whole world is one family. So when you really subscribe to those noble thoughts, those empowering thoughts, I think the world will definitely change. And that is the real calling of the time right now. That's my personal belief, and you're agreeing on that. So together, definitely we can create a platform where people can be raised, different awareness. They can see the result within 2-3 weeks of time. Definitely, even if it's a physical problem, with a combinations of things, just like as you said, wellness by all means, the right name. The
holistic approach it is.
The secrets of stretching techniques or breathing techniques, eating habits or relaxing techniques, using a subconscious mind, meditation techniques, mindfulness techniques, and healing, the spiritual healing that we're talking about right now. All those combinations in a customized way, in a personalized way, that will give them the real solution. And by this talk, definitely we are creating an opportunity, a positive hope for the people who are having stress, anxiety, lack of sleep, even physical problems like diabetes, hypertension. All these problems can be categorized as psychosomatic problems. 80% of the problems are psychosomatic in nature, lifestyle-related problems. So if you change our thoughts, if you change our mind, our physical condition also will change. So that's what the message that we wanted to pass on right now, and then we will have some combined workshop. Let's plan on that. And friends, thank you for listening to us. This is Wellness by All Means Forum, and we will have Guruji Vishwanath Ji once again, or many more times. In fact, like we would like to have some workshops together. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for your valuable time. It's a little bit late over there in India right now.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, so much for your precious time and then the right guidance to our audience. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. God bless everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.